Thanks um, for being here today. Um, yeah, as you know, we have this this project that's with us for a very long time, and we really it's been part of our lives basically. So we'd like to spend some time showing what we have done since the last event, and together with me online, it's Scott, it's Adrian, and it's Sarah. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I hope you can hear everyone. So we'll try the four of us to interact during the whole session. So let's just start since we lost some minutes from the previous one. So we'd like just to for the first hour, since we're having to split this, and the first hour will be more towards showing what we have done lately. And since the last event, especially with just giving a brief introduction to the project, talk a little bit about the core team and the contributions that I have done, show the trailer with all the features, what we plan to do next, and of course having some time to for us to play the game and talk a little bit with you guys with your feedback while we display the game. Then the second part is supposed to be a little bit more technical, so that for those that really like the 3D part, the game engine itself, that are curious enough to learn what we're doing, we can go a little bit more in details and show as well some demos about the process of doing the isometric to 3D, and then a part of the scripting as well. So let's get started. So as you know, the project started as just a re-implementation of the Little Big Adventure 2, with the idea of to improve the graphics and the gameplay, and also add a lot of the authoring tools for modding purposes. We have done this as a web-based game, so you can play it on the browser using JavaScript, 3JS, and React. As the core team, it's Adrian Grandmange. I don't know if Adrian, if you want to say some words.
Yeah, well, I started this project a few years ago, and Alex quickly joined me because we were talking about he was planning on doing something a bit similar, I think, and we decided to join forces. And I don't remember what year we started this. I think it was like
2016.
16, yeah.
Yeah,
I
was
worked
June.
alone on this for like a few weeks, and then Alex needed to join. And yeah, we've been working regularly on this since then, so it's been quite a while.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I will probably. We started in 16. I think you started in June, and then 1 month after, I remember I did the first commit. Back in the time, yeah, I was trying to do something as well in JavaScript related to LBA, and we talked, and we knew that you were actually starting, and we decided just to join the forces and do something together instead of being completely separate, which is good. Then again, the other. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Yeah. Then just since actually the last event, Scott joined us. So it's new member. Scott, do you want to say something?
Yep. Yeah, so I joined about 3 months ago. I've been doing a bunch of gameplay work. I'm quite excited about the VR side of things, like re-experiencing the game in virtual reality is quite compelling. So I'm really excited to be able to play this all the way through in virtual reality. So yeah, glad to be on the team.
Yeah, glad to have you. I can say that since Scott joined, we had a lot of boost in not only motivation within the team to get us going, but as well a lot of gameplay work that has been done. So I hope you like it. We're going to show shortly. And then with us, we have as well Sarah.
Yeah. Well, I joined the project like 2 years ago or something like that. I was like having a difficult time in my life, and when that happens, I usually search for content related to LBA because it's kind of critical to me. And I found this project, and I was like, oh, I really want to join this thing. But I'm not a programmer. I knew nothing, and I saw that they were requesting people to fill metadata in the game, and I was like, okay, I know the game like from head to toes, like completely, so I can enter the data about all the naming of the things in the game. And after I finished that, I wanted to continue contributing because I'm really hooked to contribute to this project because I think it's amazing. And I basically learned how to model in 3D for
she made the picture that we're using here as a promo picture for the project. She made it this week, and you can see the amount of progress she's been doing in 1 year. It's pretty amazing.
I've been working a lot in it because I really love it.
Indeed, yeah. Yeah, you're definitely going to see the difference from the project. Last but not least, Peter DeVos is also joined recently. Unfortunately, couldn't be live with us here today, but he actually left a message that I'm going to play now briefly.
Hi, my name is Peter DeVos, and unfortunately I cannot attend the live stream live, so I'm just pre-recording this message in order to say hi. I quite recently joined the LBA2 Remake project as a 3D modeler. I've been making some 3D versions of layouts. You'll see some of that later this live stream because I did a pre-recorded speed modeling exercise. For now, I just wanted to say hi and let you know this is a great project to work on and have a lot of fun watching the rest of the live stream.
Okay, and that was Peter. I think some of you already know. He's been with the community as well for a very long time.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, and this is basically the core team, but of course this was not help. This was also with the help of a lot of other people that have been joining us since. Not as active as, of course, all of us in the core team, but they did a really good contribution for the game. So the list is here. We're actually not going through all the names, but really thanks for everyone to get involved. So I think that's basically the moment that you guys are all waiting. We're going to just sit back and watch our feature trailer.
Twinson, rush to the downtown pharmacy and find a cure for Dinofly. You just found your magic ball. When you wear your ancestral tune, you just found your holo map. To use it, look in the inventory.
Okay, that was it. That's our feature trailer. We're going soon just to actually play, and you have a chance to ask some questions and interact with us. So what's next? We plan to continue on doing a lot of the gameplay. At least since the last event to now, we did a lot of gameplay, and that kind of show a little bit more progress in the overall game. So we decided that I think that's a good way to go. So we decided to go for the magic ball, projectiles, inventory, and the basic holo map. I think with some of those, we can have the game a little bit more compatible and playable as well. Unfortunately, the LBA1 integration that was supposed to be available for this event, we haven't completed. There was some need to do some more resource and some core changes in the old engine, so it's actually ongoing. So it will take us a little bit time, but hopefully it will come next as well. We hope to add some modding features as well, more in our authoring tools, just to facilitate the modding, and then of course continue with work on the modeling, especially on the Citadel Island and on the Desert Island. So we're going to just showcase the game a little bit, starting just the normal gameplay, and then I will switch to Scott and he will do some VR gameplay as well. Okay, looks like I had it to still load the voices. By the way, guys, please help me during the stream. If you guys want to say something while I'm playing, please go ahead.
Yep.
Hello, I'm Twinson, the hero of this adventure. Can you see me up in the box up there with my girlfriend Zoe?
Well, we're actually not going to listen everything. You guys all know all this, right? It was just a little bit.
Twinson, rush to the downtown pharmacy and find a cure for Dinofly. He's just crashed in the garden and looks injured. Tell me, Twinson, did you find something to cure the Dinofly?
I'm still looking for a cure. Don't worry, I'll find one. I really like this image of my trusty Dinofly.
You just found your magic ball. When you wear your ancestral tunic, you'll be able to bounce it at your enemies.
So this was one of the latest features as well. We still have a little bit of a bug there.
Well, he's talking about the filtering issues on the brown wall issues. It's a bit more complicated than just the filtering issues, because we have filtering on, but we're using a texture atlas for where we have pulled the original types, and they are not supposed to be
Hello?
put together like this, the way we do it. Yeah, we're doing that.
You just found your holo map.
Outer
To
pixels.
use it, look in the inventory by pressing
but,
Shift. Or
in this
simply
case,
press
precisely
Tab.
the border of the tile doesn't match with the border of the, because it's curved. It's like it's not matching the border of the brick, the isometric brick. But it's a bit more involved than that.
You have found 3 darts.
There's there's no quick fix for this, but we'll surely fix it at some point.
Oops.
Oops.
You didn't saw that. Just some
Zoe's diary.
collisions bugs.
Yeah.
Dear diary,
Gonna work on
today
the
I'll tell you the
collisions
story
soon
of the
because
adventure I had with Twinsen
a
under
lot
the...
of improvement we can have there.
Yeah, so actually we can see now as well the behavior menu.
Yeah, that's completely new in this version. Great work from Alex on this.
There's also responsive, so even on small browsers it can adapt as well for small windows. So hopefully eventually when we have the mobile fully working, we can leverage from the browser responsiveness as well. I can, for example, if I go here again, get key, you can see that automatically updates. It's all in sync with the game mood.
I'm going to see the dino fly. It just landed behind the house. Don't forget that you can change the perspective by pressing enter.
Hello.
Not being from here, I find your island rather strange. I don't understand.
Oh, why are you doing that? He's innocent.
If you hit ball, it'll actually hit you back.
You don't like foreigners?
We just need the projectile stars. That'll be mostly complete.
Waiter! Insert 5 caches if you want to listen to a title.
Hello, Tim.
Hi, Twinsen. With this storm, I got lots of customers, and I got a 1 minute to my...
Another bug. So this is another thing that Scott did.
Yeah, we still haven't implemented any sort of like clover system or game over screen, so currently I just teleport you back to the last known valid position, but it's fine.
Still very much a work in progress. Right now you can't really play much farther than the Trellis Cave because we don't have the magic ball yet, so you can't open that switch that allows you to go to the second room in the Trellis Cave. But we'll be working on the magic ball soon, so that should allow us to play much farther in the game. I'm implementing like actually dying, like the game over screen and stuff. I guess that's not a lot of work, so we could have that soon and have it in like
Hello.
much more playable
Yes,
than it is right now.
price of admission.
I don't have enough caches.
It depends on what you mean with a free camera exactly, like first person camera or actually we can in the editor, you can already move around the interiors in Ray Camera. Like the exterior, well, it's really easy to actually, we could switch that feature on. I just need to change one line of code for enabling the same camera.
You have just found your ancestral tunic and Sendel's medallion. By storing magic, it will enable you to bounce your...
not very playable at this point to do that, so I haven't done it.
Hello, Miss Blue.
Thank you for releasing the door to me. By the way,
it depends on the walls, because if you're on this with this angle, you have the small walls, so you're able to see things properly. But if you're on seeing the scene from the other angles, you have higher walls and you don't see what's going on, so it's not very playable.
Just trying to see where I can get lava. Yeah, we have too many musics.
Well, actually, if you want immersion, you can play in VR. You have it in first person. That's very immersive, and it works right now. Like if you have an Oculus Quest, for example, you can just or any VR headset, basically, except PSVR, which doesn't have web VR. You can play VR in a web browser and on PSVR. But if you have an Oculus Quest, you can play right now by, if you go to LBA2 Remake.net, you just can play in VR if you're doing that with a VR headset.
If you go,
yeah.
Well,
if you go to, sorry, go on, Adrian.
No, go for it.
I was saying if you go to the island across from the Hacienda, you can show off the protopack, the transition from the island to the where you get the protected spell.
Yeah,
it's quite a good one for the jetpack.
Yeah, it just changed now for the ISO 3D, so that we can show a different perspective now.
Twinson, rush to the downtown pharmacy and find a cure for Dinofly. He's just crashed in the garden and looks injured.
So now what you see is actually in 3D with some of the assets, instead of being the sprites, actually replaced with 3D models.
Right now the lighting on that is pretty simple, but we're gonna put some better lighting later.
There are no textures either for the lamps or wherever they are missing the
right now what we wanted to do is to make as much of the game we wanted to make as much of the game playable in 3D for supporting VR, so we didn't focus on making it look too good at this point, but we're gonna improve that a lot later.
Hello? Yes.
Right now the goal is to make it playable in VR.
Yeah, covering as much as we can.
Covering as much of the game as possible. So instead of what most projects do is usually like remake Twinson's house in 3D and then they stop at that because it's just too much work.
Well, it's the most iconic place.
But here
I started with this, like this were my first model.
We have a pretty different approach here, which is we replace objects instead of replacing scenes. And so if you replace that table here, it will get replaced in every scene that uses that table. And, we also have modding in mind for when doing that, because we think that if we have a 3D asset for a table, then modders could easily build their own grids with placing tables wherever they want.
So I think the time is running out pretty fast, so just going to go to the hacienda so that we can switch to Scott. Where's hacienda? That's not the best.
You can actually jetpack straight across from here. I think it should just work. You can just go straight across.
So you can actually use both Proto Pack on Super Jetpack.
Yeah.
I think there's a scene transition there now.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to do this in the original game, I don't think. You're just supposed to fly there. Oh well, Proto Pack seems to be handling that better than a jetpack. Okay. Nice.
Cheater!
Okay, then we forgot actually to go back to Jason. Scott, do you have everything ready on your side?
Yep, yeah, you can go ahead and raid.
Okay. I'll just show the horn and then right back to you. It's not the right time in the game to do it, so it's probably not going to fully work, but oops.
Bravo!
Okay, just going to write to you.
Okay, hello everybody. Let's turn on this. Unmute this. Okay. So yeah, we're going to be showing off some of the new VR features that we've got. Note that I won't be able to see the chat. So yeah, we're doing this on the Valve Index, which is quite nice because it means that we've got the proper index controller models, which is great with all of the labels, and it actually looks pretty good. So I'm streaming it in 1440p, 60 frames per second, so it should look quite nice.
Maybe you should show the controller so everyone can see how you control the game.
Yeah. So I've had to do a couple of local modifications, but you can change behavior left and right, and then action is on the triggers. Yeah. So I can show off some of the interior 3D environments that we've been talking about. So there's been quite a lot of work on Chisluk's bar. So as you can see, all of the chairs are in 3D, for example, here, as are sort of these things, which is really cool. So Peter's been doing a lot of work on sort of a white building layout. We've got the jukebox in 3D. It's quite cool.
I think you need to be a little bit slower.
Sorry.
And with joysticks as well. With
Yeah.
Sticks. Yeah. Perfect.
So it's pretty cool to be able to see all of this stuff in 3D.
So let's go upstairs.
Hey, we need some music here.
So we can put on the music and then go and grab the key behind the bar.
Insert 5 caches if you want to.
LBA's theme.
Now you can dance with them.
Yes.
Do the move, Scott.
So those are the plants in 3D. It's very nice. So the other thing that we've got, which is really cool, is first-person combat. So I spent some time doing some, meaning you can punch people in VR, which is really quite fun.
Why is everybody involved today?
There's also this kid. You can punch him, but it doesn't quite work like you'd expect it to.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted
Just
to
check
do
I'm
that.
not punching
to
the.
actually do it, but yeah.
It's also quite hard because it's quite. No. There we go. And then he sort of does this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
If some of you might remember that you can punch the children in the daycare, and then they get their big brothers to come and beat you up. But I feel really bad punching these people in VR. Like, it's not in 2D. It's sort of fine, but when you're like punching someone like this, I feel really bad about it.
Well, you get what to do there.
It's also quite fun to sort of watch the scenes play out. So if we go into the pharmacy and ask for how to cure Dino Fly.
Sorry, but I don't have anything for a dino fly. If you are interested in an item...
But I have an idea how you can help your friend.
And then he comes in and steals the umbrella.
It feels very different to in first person than third person.
Don't touch my cash register. Don't touch my...
So what we'll do is I'll swap to the Dome of the Slate, because I know Adrian and Sarah did a bunch of work on that. Sarah, I'm not sure if you want to talk through this.
Yeah, we spent a couple of weeks on this, trying to imagine something new, and that still somehow hopefully looks like not. Well, it looks different from the original because we.
Yeah, but imagine. I was thinking this thing, you enter VR and are you going to see everything black or whatever? It doesn't really give you a sense of dimension. And I thought I really love this trial, and I really think this in VR could be a really nice experience, feeling that fear of falling to the stairs, to the stars. I really loved dying in this area in the original game, because I don't know, Vincent tends to trying to get some kind of star thing, and I was thinking this place has to be filled of some magical power, and we kind of tried reinventing this, having that in mind, and this is kind of the result.
We liked the atmosphere of the original with the stars floor, and we thought, and we wanted to show the inside walls of the dome, because in the original, because of the isometric view, you can't see that, but we imagined that there should be something there. So at the beginning, we put a similar texture to the outside one on it, but we weren't very happy with how it looked, and we thought,
yeah, especially because you couldn't really see properly the volume of the place, so it wasn't really that immersive. And yeah, this feels more magical, I think.
We thought we wanted something to. We wanted it to look kind of magical when you play it in VR, and well,
you
can try this.
It's a trial of a School of Magic.
if you have a VR headset, you can try this right away.
And I was like at the very beginning, I was very frustrated because I was seeing that star pool over like down there, and I was like, I wish I could drown in those stars. Yeah, and there is a part in here which is where you have the clover box, then we call it clover box, and I used to jump from there to the stairs, and I really love that feeling.
Yeah, it's very cool being inside here, and feeling the space. Cool. I think that's mainly it. Anything else people want to look at? I can maybe go to.
No, sir.
Just go and punch some people. It's quite fun.
Thanks, Sirasila, for the comment.
Welcome to follow us.
Yeah, then there's some scripting stuff we haven't done yet, and he gets stuck. But
we're going to the casino.
We can try going to the casino. The casino's a bit of a.
I think it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
Yeah. We didn't reach out to
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that needs work, but oh, the lizard's down there.
Oh, that way people can preview how it was the before, and we will see the after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything else interesting here? I think so. I mean, yeah, go and try it out if you've got a VR headset. It's quite fun.
Yeah, Gizmo is asking if we need another modeler. Yeah, we need other modelers if you like it. We're gonna show our workflow in the second part, like after this. And yeah, so if you have some,
if you want to join, you're
if you
welcome.
want to join, you're welcome.
Cool. Shall I raid over to Adrian?
Oh, wait a second. I'm not ready yet. I suppose.
I'll go and punch some more
maybe
people.
You just try to find Fanfrock.
Yeah, I've got that
punches.
Scene ready. Hold on.
I don't know if anyone wants to see anything special or.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's very visible in the stream, but the sky in the Emerald Moon is kind of neat.
No, it was very before.
Yeah, it was there before, but not in the original. The photos of that.
No. Okay, we'll leave this guy. I'm not sure why that guy doesn't want to. Oh no, I sort of am.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I think the hit animations are slightly.
You're dancing.
Yeah. Funfrock also doesn't. Yeah, it is supposed to be right. Oh, he actually hit me.
Throwing the magic ball in VR is gonna be nice.
Yes.
You'll be able to throw it like wherever you want.
Oh no. Okay, well now I can't punch him anymore. Well. Should probably try and fix that. Okay, great. I'll just leave him over there. Oof.
You can die in the lava.
Yeah, it's quite fun. And yeah, like Adrian said, using the magic ball, like actually being able to throw it as a projectile is going to be quite fun. A pretty fun game mechanic.
Oh, we're ready if you want.
Okay. I shall
whenever if you like.
read you.
Hi everyone. All right, so we're gonna go a bit more technical on the second part of the project. Of the streaming. So yeah, I was gonna talk quickly about the project goals in the long term, like very quickly. Like what we are doing right now is mostly working on the game engine, which is like we're reproducing what you can see in the original, but we are doing that with a completely new code. It has nothing to do with the original code, and we're focusing on making it easy to. Well, it's open source. You can see the code for what we are doing, and you can easily change it to adapt it to what you want to do with it. So we want to support multiple goals with the project. And like second part, which we have actually started already, but it's more like a long-term goal compared to the first part, which is like we want to remake the game, like improving the graphics, kind of like what we did with the dome and stuff like that, and replacing the isometric with 3D models and virtual reality stuff, and we want probably to have a mobile version too. That would be nice to be able to play on mobile.
Yeah,
this is not our main focus because, well, we can't be doing everything at the same time, but if there's any programmer watching and if anyone is interested in that, they feel free to join and work on that. That could help. And the last goal we have, which is like really more long-term goal, we're talking modding. Yeah. Well, actually, we did some work on that, so we have some capabilities for that, but right now not much. Well, you can't make a mod with this just yet, but yeah, that's kind of a goal we have here. We want to turn this into a platform for being able to create new locations, new characters, new stories, and we want to be able to allow other people to create new games, basically, that are featuring our favorite.
Yeah, like if you have a story to tell, you can like mod it here easily in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of our goal, making it easy for people like me, for example, who has no idea about coding.
Yeah.
Oh, we would try.
And someone was mentioning multiplayer in the beginning of the stream, and that's one of our goals. Well, I mean, it's not a priority right now, and then
people
again,
enjoy it.
Yeah, I was a bit tempted to work on that a few weeks ago,
I
and
have to stop him.
and make a multiplayer version to show for the streaming event, but I think it would have been crappy if I just spent a few evenings on it, and maybe next time, maybe the next streaming
maybe
event
next time we can have a coffee multiplayer all together.
Yeah. Well, it would be cool to have something like the LBA net project, and but definitely we have what is needed for doing that. We only need more time, I suppose. And we want to support LBA1, of course, and which Alex is mostly interested in, so I think he'll be leading the work on that. We want to support fan translations, and we can imagine other features like a spectator mode, like someone would play in first person in a regular mode, and someone could watch it in VR, or someone is playing in VR and someone else is watching from another browser and picking a different camera view and something like that, and maybe a speedrunning leaderboard well, like in game we support that. I don't know. There are many features,
and we are open to ideas.
Yeah, and
too.
we are definitely open to ideas. So if you really want to see something, just shoot us a message, or I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna talk about the what we are doing with the isometric scenes, like the indoor scenes, like for replacing those two actual 3D, because those are like flat images that are stitched together to make it look like 3D. But yeah, that's what isometric is just flat images.
Mm.
So if you put a 3D camera on flat images, this is what it looks like. It's all distorted. But you saw that in Zilish earlier when Scott was playing in VR. And well, this is what it looks like if you try to project it with an actual 3D camera. And this is what it looks like after we remade the models for the different parts of this scene here. And the way we are approaching this is that instead of replacing the complete scenes, we are replacing objects. Well, we actually call that those layouts, because this is kind of what they are called in the original game. And like a layout is just an object. Here it's a group of small isometric images, and we are actually replacing all of those that are in the game. There's like libraries of layouts. There's 18 libraries, and in total we have like 3,000 layouts.
And I'm so happy that Peter joined, because I was like,
yeah. And so far, yeah. How long have we been working on this? Like you've been on it
I've been for a year.
A year.
Yeah.
And we've done like 10% of it, and now Peter joined, so it's going faster. But there's still quite a bit of work here. So welcome to any other 3D modelers that want to do that too. Gizmo is asking if we thought of AI images. Well, I'm not sure I understand the question here.
Yeah, I think
it's the upscale of the textures, just to get a little bit more of.
Yeah, we thought of doing that, but never came around to do it actually.
Yeah, well, for the few textures we are doing for now, we are making them procedurally, kind of trying to match with the originals. Right? Yeah, I'm not spending too much time in that for now.
So yeah, we have a few complex cases when replacing the layouts with 3D models. Like the original game was cheating a lot with perspective, and it's like sometimes we have to take some decisions, and we have to do things differently from the original because it would look wrong.
They were playing a lot with perspective, and like most of the time you can really match layout that you can see in the space the layout actually takes. So yeah, you have to be a bit creative there.
Yeah, and there's variants. Well, maybe I should clarify what we call a layout is here. That table is a layout, and we have libraries like Citadel Island. They are all the layouts that you can find in Twinson's house, the museum, the neighbor's house. There are basically grouping layouts that look similar, that share a common style. Like we have a layout for sewers, we have a layout for grey building, which is what you see in Shiluk, and the pharmacy, for example. Those are the grey building layouts.
The bazaar too.
The bazaar. So here is what you can see here in this screenshot is the editor from our project, like the Remake project. If you go to editor mode in the project, you go to our website and you go to editor mode, and you can see that, like if you press on the what am I doing? If you press on the top left corner of the screen, like where there's ISO layouts editor written, you can select another layout, another editor, and you can easily get to that editor here. And layouts have variants, which is, well, I don't have a good example for that here, but basically
Yeah, you
it's a
take one
different
layout,
table
yeah.
with a different size, like it's a longer table or
table or-
something like that.
Hmm.
And
Or
well,
for books, for example, like you have one layout for books, but there are variants with different type of colors in the books or length
Yeah.
or whatever. For not making lots of layouts, they just make some variants, cut some layouts, and replace them in a different order.
Yeah. So yeah, look, what did I want to say now? Finding those variants in the scene is a bit complicated, and we're doing that with some code, some programming that looks for the variants in the scenes, but there are a lot of complications there because of the way the original game was made, and it's not as easy as it looks, and sometimes we are facing some issues with it.
Yeah, and you finish one layout and another one break,
Yeah,
and yeah,
well,
it's
we're
kind of a...
still a work in progress on that. Well, we're going to talk a bit about our workflow for replacing models. And actually, Peter has pre-recorded a video about that, which I'm going to play in a minute. So just want to outline the basic workflow. Is like you create a model in Blender, you import it into our engine, and you apply the changes, which means that the engine takes that layout and you puts it in every scene that uses that layout, and in an optimized way that can be loaded in the engine and displayed at a high frame rate. So this is what Peter is going to show you in a video here.
All right, hello everybody. So I thought it might be a nice idea to do a pre-recorded speed modeling exercise. And I've been looking through some of these layouts, and I think this is a really good one to get started with. And fittingly, it's layout number 100, which is great. So yeah, I just want to run through how I do it. And if you're interested in joining the project and you want to do something similar, then you could take some pointers from this maybe. Alright, so I am in the layouts editor. I found the layout I want to replace with a 3D version. Basically, my starting point is I just download the layout, and it will download a DAE file, which I always just rename, just so I know what it is. So this is a crate. Alright, so now what I do is I already prepped this this Blender file, and it's got two views. One of them is the orthographic view, which sort of will match what's in game, and the other one is just my modeling viewport. And I will hit import and just look up. You see, there's a lot of other stuff that I already did before, and I will just look up my crate. And what I really want to do here, this is a technique that Sarah showed me, is I want to render out this this image so that I can sort of overlay that half transparent, so over whatever I'm modeling. So I'll go to rendering. I will render out the image. So that's the image. It's exactly what we want. And I would just say that this is the crate original. So I can use that there. Alright. So if I now grab my isometric camera, I'm able to select the crate original. And now basically what I can do is I can just, this original thing, I can just get rid of it. It's fine. So there's the crate now. That being done, let's start modeling. Yeah, and done. Let's do it. That's perfect. That's perfect. Obviously, it's not textured or anything, but I just hit a button called apply, which will make sure that the game is nice and optimized. And it takes a little moment, and you see that it updates scenes, so wherever this is used, really. Now, once that is done, I think it is done, I can teleport to, wherever, for instance, the baggage claim. And we'll see a very nice issue here related to backfacing. And that is very interesting. So, yeah, I'll fix that. We can, get back to that same area. Yeah, and that fixed it. So that's what I hoped it would do. So, these are crates. They're looking great.
Okay, so that was it. I don't know if you guys have questions about the workflow just seen here. Maybe Sarah, you want to add another word on this? So basically, what he did here is model his thing in Blender, then replace by 3D model button here. Then he pressed apply changes, and that was it.
Yeah, I suppose I'm planning to make a kind of beginner's tutorial to the project for starting for getting started to layout replacing, because at the beginning it's a bit confusing because the loaded the layout, it's in a collada format, and sometimes it gives some issues. So yeah, for making it more straightforward, I set up some scenes and that would look at the layout with the proper from the proper angle for making it easier to model. And also I made a palette in Blender for being able to match the colors more easily. And yeah, I'm expecting to make a tutorial providing all the files and whatever for making it easier for getting started, because at the beginning it's a bit intimidating.
Do we plan to implement ambient occlusion? Yeah, probably. We're not sure yet what we want to do with shading and lighting. Right now, this is very basic lighting model. It's just the same as the original. It's just one directional light in the scene. And we have our own shader code for rendering the objects like they are rendered in the original. We're doing some lookup table for the colors, for matching the colors of the models to the palette colors. But that's basically it. And in the future, we would definitely want to have some baked lighting in the scenes, or another solution for global illumination. And we haven't decided yet how we were gonna go about this. It's not of our focus at the moment. At the moment, we want to have the 3D objects visible in VR, and we want to maintain that workflow where you can replace objects one by one. And because the goal also here is modding, so we want to be able to have people being able to build new maps for the game in an easy way. Like they shouldn't need to open Blender for making new maps. They should be able to do it in a tool that's rather easy to use and accessible. And so that's why we are not going for standard way of doing things here. We're kind of
looking further.
Well, yeah, we're doing things a bit differently, I suppose. And okay, so I'm gonna talk about scripting.
Go for it.
Just about modding, because we've been working a bit on that part of the game. This is an important part of what makes the game behave like it does. Like for people who are not programmers, you may not know what scripting is. Scripting is like the part that gives the life to the game. It's like the thing that controls the NPCs' behaviors and their movement and the interactions of the game. All that is done by scripting. Scripting is a sort of programming, but it's easier than, let's say, programming a game engine or something like that. It can be done by beginner programmers.
I managed to understand it, so I suppose everybody
Sarah is
can.
not a programmer, and she understands how it works, and
I find it funny.
Yeah, well,
Fun to read.
There's still some. Well, so I'm gonna talk about scripting in LBA specifically, and we have a part of the editor which supports that, which is the gameplay editor. And you can see in that image that we have some actors, we have some zones, some points, which are the basic elements we use in scripting. And in the scripts part of the editor, in the top right corner, you have a visual language for making scripts. And yeah, well, we have. Well, sorry, Gizmo is asking something. Can I?
Maybe we should read it out loud. So
yeah, Gizmo is asking if we have ever thought of making our own games that we could sell. Well, obviously, who wouldn't want to do that? Like, if you're a programmer and modeler, I suppose everybody here who does some programming or 3D modeling would want to make their own game and sell it, right? So that's
be millionaire and that kind of stuff, yeah.
But well, that's not a goal in near future, at least. What we would like to see with this is to be able to make some new games or some mods for starting, like some new games that would like be in the LBA universe and reuse some of the stuff from the original games. But yeah,
we want people to be able to express themselves.
Personally, I'd like to make a game. I would really like to make my own game, but like I want to be telling new stories and doing new stuff. But yeah, there's different ways of going about that, and with this project, we want to stay close to LBA for.
Yeah, it's what motivates all of us.
Yeah, and we want to learn something through it, and if it can become in the long term, like we're talking about many years there, not many, but like I don't know, 5 years or 6 years, 10 years. If at some point it can turn into a platform for a game engine that we can use for making completely new games, then that would be nice, but we're not there just yet. And what else? Making games professionally also kind of comes with a lot of stress and
yeah, we are doing this.
It's complicated.
As a hobby.
Well, no, even Fred and Didier have trouble, making something with creative freedom. And we want creative freedom. We want to be doing what we want to be doing. We don't want to be told that we need to change something. So it's like well, I'm talking mostly for myself here because this project is not like everybody has different goals. So, but yeah, well, one thing we have in common is the LBA universe, and
yeah, it's like even if in our team you are more focused in the modding part, Alex is more focused on the LBA1 maybe, and the Scott seems to be more focused in VR and the original game itself. So yeah, it really depends to each person.
Yeah, I don't know, Alex or Scott, if you have something you want to add about that.
Yeah, I'm definitely very interested in seeing us be able to recreate LBA2, especially in VR. Like, I'm going to be really excited when we can play the entire game through from start to end.
Me too.
Yeah, in VR, it's going to be quite cool.
Yeah, I've done a game in the past and actually released it, so I know how hard it is to work on something that is original and then try to sell it in the market, which
it's a crowded market.
Yeah, it's very, very, very hard, but it's definitely rewarding. At least I won't say making a game like LBA in a 3D, especially 3D, even as an adventure to be compelling. That will take a lot of time because my previous game we were two, for example, doing the art and the development, and it was just a 2D game, and we end up having for 2 years. So imagining a new completely game like this will take really ages. But it's definitely very rewarding, I guess, at the end. But definitely marketing, I think, is the hardest part, I guess, especially if you want to make this a living, right? Because if we really want to get this out, we need to probably spend way more hours a day than we were doing now. Not that we don't want, it's just that we have to pay the bills.
Yeah, that's the main issue. Always.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was I gonna say about scripting is that right, we kind of diverge a bit, but I was gonna say that we are paying attention to scripting because this is an important part in modding. I think modding is would be nice. Well, not just modding, but for the remake in VR, I think we're gonna need to modify the scripts a bit in some places because the gameplay is gonna change in VR. I think so. We're probably gonna need to do that. But yeah, for me personally, I think modding is important, and I would like to see new. Well, it's because I want to play new LBA games, and I'm not sure LBA3 is coming anytime soon.
Don't say
and
that.
yeah, well,
Yeah, I think that will help. I think that will give a lot to the community. At least a few years ago, the community was very active on trying to make mods. And actually, the next session, Zinc is going to show LBA prequel that we did years ago. So the
Yeah.
community did a lot of those. So I think the more tools like this that we give to the community,
The more
I
free
think
for people.
they will be really, really great for people to just come up with new stories and new gameplays.
Yeah. So yeah, so scripting is important for creating new stories, new scenes, and so an important part of scripting is actors. Actors are basically the NPCs you can see in the scenes, but also the objects you can interact with, like the doors or the radio and stuff like that, the candle, the target you can throw darts at, and well, everything you can interact with in a scene of the game. And so yeah, speaking about actors, we have a model editor too that we are working on. Well, we call it an editor. It's more like a model viewer at this point, but it will become an editor at some point. And you can see that models can have actors are defined by which entity they show. Like here's the entity is Funfrog, and you have different bodies for it. Like the default body is with the Dark Monk mask, and there's another body masked here, which I don't know what it does, but there's another body which is unmasked, which is the one we were seeing earlier in VR when Scott was playing. That's the body where, well, basically Funfrog took off his mask and showing his ugly face.
Those are shared between entities.
Yeah. And we have animations, the different animations that you can play on that actor, which is like being idle or falling or landing or taking damage or moving forward. And scripting is a part of many games, but the LBA scripts are are kind of unique. They are a programming language that has been created for LBA specifically by the Adlin team, and this is what it looks like in the original game.
Very readable.
There's numbers everywhere and obscure comments, and this is what we did to it in the first move. Like we improved the syntax a bit to make it more understandable. And this is what we did more recently, like turning it into a visual language, which means that you don't have to know to learn some commands and type those commands. You can just pick some blocks like logos and assemble them to make the game behave in a certain way. So it's more like a game. Actually, I got the idea of doing this, but by playing with my daughter, trying to teach her some programming, and she's 6 years old, and and I was like making her try on the iPad a thing for visual programming, and I thought, hey, why wouldn't we use that on LBA? That would be nice. And so I came up with this block system here. One more thing about LBA scripts is that for one actor you have one script, and a script is split in two parts. You have the tracks and you have the behaviors, and the tracks are like defining how you move around, like setting, like going to various points in the scene. Like here you go to point 1, and then you go to point 2, and then you go to point 3, and while doing that you change the animation of the character, and it's for moving around and sometimes waiting and sometimes playing sounds and stuff like that.
Too.
It's like kind of an animation tool, yeah. It's like, and you have a different part which is made of behaviors. Like you have a start behavior, a behavior 1, behavior 2 here in that example, and this is more like for NPCs to take decisions on what they want to do and react to the events that are happening in the game, and they can change the game state, like saying, okay, so I told to Zoe, now the story is gonna change, and it can also control which track. So the tracks we were talking about earlier. The behavior part can tell, okay, now let's play this track, and when this happens, then we move to another track and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna show a pre-recorded demo of scripting with that system using our engine. So I'm gonna add a new actor to the Shelik scene. I'm not telling you who yet. And I'm gonna trigger something the actor will do, like the NPC will do when music starts playing on the jukebox. And you have to try to guess. I'm gonna write in the video. I'm gonna write a new script from scratch, and as an exercise, you can try to guess what the script is gonna do. What the NPC I'm adding is gonna do. So yeah, try to guess that, and we'll see. So here I'm adding fat frac to that scene. And now I'm moving to display funfrux script, which is empty at this point. I'm creating 2 behaviors for it. And the part you see highlighted here is the part that is currently running. Like, this is what he's doing right now. He's performing behavior 1.
That's why he's doing nothing.
Well, behavior 1 is empty, so yeah, he does nothing. So here in the start behavior, which is the first one that runs at the beginning before going to behavior 1. I'm gonna do a couple of stuff here. Like remove body means like I talked about bodies before, which are different representations, like different skins for the NPCs. And removing the body basically means making it invisible. I'm showing the points, the waypoints in the scene, and I'm making it go to 0.9 at the beginning. And now in behavior 1, I'm gonna add a condition here, which means like when something specific happens, I'm gonna trigger something to happen. And what I want to look for is, I want to look for which music is playing. So I'm looking for jukebox music here, and jukebox music number 1. If jukebox music number 1 is playing, I want to move to another track 1. Well, I mean, I want funfrug to start playing track 1.
Now you are putting point 33, which is at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
Because if you put directly the 28, it doesn't really. It goes a straight line, right?
Yeah,
you have to make a path.
If I make it go to point 28 directly, it tried to go there in straight line, and it wouldn't work well. Yeah, there's no path finding at this point. We could add that later, but and I created a new point here, point 35, which was not in the original scene because I want a point in front of the jukebox. When I talk about points here, I'm talking about those little blue flags there, which are like checkpoints where the NPCs can go to. And I added another track here in the middle of this section that I'm creating here. Just I added a track 2. This is gonna be used later for detecting that. But I want to know when I reached that point in the track. So it's like I'll be able to add a condition to do something specific when in the running behavior 1. I want to do something specific when we reach track 2.
And there you see anim 494. That's because there's some metadata missing.
Yeah, we don't have in the original games, the names for the animations are not available. So if we want to know the names, we have to name them ourselves, which is something we would like to have some help on.
Yeah.
Like if someone really likes the games and wants to do something not very technical for the project, this is one of the things you can do. You can give names to the different animations. You just have to look at them in the 3D model editor, and you can rename things. So here I'm adding, I'm doing something in behavior 1 when we are reaching this track 2 thing here. I want to trigger something to happen. I'm not telling you what it is, just look at the screen and try to guess. By the way, this is how the original game works. They didn't have this visual representation for it. They had some text files where they wrote some comments that did that, but it's the same comments here than in the original.
Insert 5 caches
What
if you want to listen to a title.
Let's look at this.
Look at what we did.
And you can see highlighted in the right the current thing that is playing.
Waiter?
What if I want to make Fun Frog sleep? I need an animation for that, which I don't think exists in the original. So we would need to have a more advanced model editor for being able to
insert
add that
5
animation and then being able to use it in the script. I'm playing that same script for a second time. So yeah, that's basically it for scripting. Well, would like some help on those things. So yeah, we need programmers, we need 3D modelers. We can do more stuff if we're more people. And like I just mentioned, we need people who know the game. Well, we need that for several things. You don't have to not have any particular skill like modeling or programming. You can just test play the remake and report bugs that you find. Well, actually, one thing at this point, it's still pretty early, so we have a lot of bugs and we know about most of the bugs, so we don't need them reported 10 times. But what we need to know is that when we are making new changes, if we'd like to know if we didn't break anything. So, for example, we could have a list of things we want to test every time we make a new release, and if a few people would be available for testing those things, that would really help a lot, I think. Yeah, well, the original scripting bugs is, yeah, we could fix them. I don't know where we could log them. Um,
Yeah, I thought about maybe a channel in Discord or even on Magic Ball Network. I think probably there's some old threads about it, but yeah, I'm not sure where is the best place to everyone can help.
Yeah, we also need about you need people for the metadata typing. I have a problem with that word, like metadata. Yeah, I never managed to say that word. And yeah, soon we'll be able to mod things a bit more. Like we're gonna work on a grid editor soonish. And I think. Oh, I say soon here. It's like you're not gonna have that next week, but in a few months maybe we'll be able to.
The next stream.
Maybe for the next birthday event, we'll be able to do something about that. Yeah, having a mod manager, that could be something. We're not there yet, but like it would be nice to have some sort of hub where you could play new, even small stories, like a short mod with a little story with a few new maps, and it would be nice to have a hub where you can have those mini games and people could make them and publish them there. That would be really nice. But yeah, that's not for the short term. Like I don't know if it.
Yeah, I think we first need to make the
We
game
need to make the game fully playable first. That's the first priority here.
That is definitely a really cool idea. Something like the Dreams from PS4, that you can actually just make games and then share with the community, or the Little Big Planet. Yeah, I think doing something with what we have.
Something similar to Little Big Planet, maybe.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And by the way, the project is currently called LBA2 Remake, but as you can see, it's not just a LBA2 remake. It's meant to be more than that, different things. And so we've been thinking about renaming the project soon, probably. And well, if you have ideas on that, we're open to them. That would be nice to hear.
Open to suggestions.
What you guys. It's just not meant to be just a remake. It's meant to be also. Yeah, I'll be a 3D online. that would be. Little big games. I like that one. Anyway, yeah, if you can think of ideas, just shoot and have any time. And yeah, so we'd be happy to have more people contribute to the project. So if you want to do that, the main action happens on the Slack channel. We have a Slack channel, which you can see the URL here, but we can share it on Discord or well, you can talk to us on Discord or Facebook. Basically, we're on all the places where the LBA fans go. So, well, I think we are. Anyway, but yeah, where we talk about the project itself is on the Slack channel. So if you want to really come helping on the project, then that's where you should go. And yeah, just we're ready to help you get started on anything you would like to help with. So just get in touch with us if you want to.
Yeah, you're very welcome with the Blender help.
Jazzy, yeah.
See the example of Scott and Peter that just joined since the last event.
Yeah, and they've been doing some amazing work here.
Thank
you. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for our next update, because the things that we're proposing to do for 0.5, the Magic Ball, and the inventory actually is going to unlock a
whole bunch of progress that people can make in the game. So yeah, should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it should start to make it really playable, because up until now it's more like a tech demo more than. Yeah, Rick is mentioning the LBA1 remake. I think that project is, well, there are a couple of LBA1 remakes, but
It's a good question. He's asking if LBA1 shares all this.
yeah, basically LBA2 is technically LBA2 is the same as LBA1 with some additions on top of it. There are some differences in 3D models format, for example, and well, there are a few differences in where assets are placed, but mostly the game engine is basically the same. It's just like LBA2 is an extension of LBA1 technically. So it should not be too hard to support LBA1. Well, it's still quite a bit of work, so I expect this. I don't know, what do you think, Alex, but I suppose it's going to take a month or two, or maybe more.
It depends if I work every day on it.
Yeah,
it depends if you want it in full 3D.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be done by this event, but a couple of months ago we work on the resources, on the assets, and end up actually not, even though we did the refactoring, end up not being enough to integrate the LBA1. We noticed that we needed some add-ons just to avoid hard coding things in the agent, so we kind of wanted to avoid that, and we noticed that we needed a further step. I actually started recently, I think last week or two weeks ago, to do that parsing of the assets for LBA2 now that we eventually will work for LBA1. It's not that bad. I think I'm mostly done with it. I'm just missing now the sprites, the bricks, and the islands basically for LBA2. And then of course we still need to do the LBA1 specific ones. So grids is basically the same. Scenes, there are few differences, not many. So I think we can adapt a lot of the code that we have. But the 3D model are slightly different as well. So I think the 3D models will be the ones that will give a little bit more trouble. But hopefully, because the games are so similar, and we made it in a way that I think we can reuse a lot of the things that we have. So hopefully it won't be. It's just time consuming basically. Hopefully we won't end up um, doing or redoing too much. The only thing that I know that we need to improve are the animations. The way the animations are done in the engine now needs a little bit some refactoring, but if it's only that, I think we're fine.
Yeah, I guess we'll have 4 minutes left, I suppose, before.
Last question.
Anything you want to add, Alex or Scott, maybe? Or if anyone asks questions, just shoot.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything from my side. Like I said, 0.5 is going to be quite good. We'll see what sort of cadence we get into for regular releases. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's important, especially since Scott and Peter join. There will definitely a lot of more gameplay added, and we noticed that if we keep going with that a pace, we really can release more often and really nice features. So yeah, hopefully we can manage to quickly done that. What we want for the 05.
But of course, we're doing that on our free time, and life has its lot of unexpected events and
Yeah,
stuff.
somebody was mentioning the
we
proper job
all
thing.
have we all have pretty busy lives, and
Yeah.
and so we're doing
Mm.
we're doing what we can to make things go further. But yeah, I think this project is gonna stick for a while because it started quite a few years ago, and we've been working regularly on it, and the team is growing, and so I think we're gonna be here for a while.
And we are nice people, so don't doubt them, join us.
Fred and Didier were talking about making a spin-up, right? Maybe we can team together and do using this engine.
Well, we still have quite a bit of work before we could do that. Yeah.
It can code as well.
Yeah. Not sure they are using the same technologies. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also quite excited for some online stuff. Like, I feel like having a online version of this in VR would be really fun, right? Like being able to hang out in some of the environments with like LBA avatars in VR would be very cool.
Yeah.
I really want to work on that.
That would be actually not that hard to do, to throw a first prototype for that. And that's something with a lot of gameplay or stuff, but just having the online basic system, I think this should be fairly easy to implement. And yeah, maybe I'll do that.
It's tempting.
It's tempting. I think a lot of people are interested. So. But at the same time, I think it's quite important to keep focused and try to
make the game playable.
Make the game playable. Yeah.
So Gizmo is asking who made that scene in the background.
Sarah,
well, actually, the assets are from Peter.
Yeah.
Like it was missing
the assets, like
the
magic points, the heart points, the ladders.
No, the cash register is mine.
The cash register is yours.
But he made the wall.
The objects
texture.
you see in the scene are the ones that are used in the game. Like we use for replacement for the game. So actually this scene you see here is an export from the game engine with Peter's replacement. And the pharmacist is Sarah's been working. Yes, concept art.
Kind of
she's
been. I wanted to see the reaction to people to this kind of characters because maybe at some point in the future I would like to, take also the characters to the next level. Like this model, for example, it could be like it's properly has a proper topology for being able to be rigged and put in a game engine, so maybe,
we could actually put it in game fairly easily. Like it doesn't have that many polygons, for example, so it's it should run fine, I suppose.
Yeah, in fact, I imported the previous streaming. I made a picture with a quetch with the blue hair, and I actually imported it to the game engine, and it was looking pretty nice.
But I'm not sure we want to do that right now because
make the game playable first.
that would have one isolated character being
in
high resolution
in a triangle world.
It would look weird, and there would be no point unless we want to replace all the characters in the game, which maybe we want to do at some point, but
not for now.
Not for now, because
I want to be seeing the reactions of people to this kind of modeling.
Okay. Guys, if Sync is ready, so we can rate to his channel.
Yeah, I think we can.
Is anyone connected there?
I was trying to see if he was, but I think I miswrote.
He's not live yet. We're just saying. Okay. well, if you're keeping an eye on that, Freak, just tell us when he's live and I'll write to his channel. Zinc actually has made some interesting tools in the past that we've been using that quite a lot. Well, not for this project, not so much, but it's done some amazing tooling.
Yeah, I used that a lot in the past.
Yeah, curious to see what he has to
We
show.
worked a lot together back in the day to try to decipher the LBA1 and 2 scenes. They're pretty cool. Indeed, yeah.
It looks like Zing's live.
Yeah. He's live?
Yeah.
Alright then. I'm gonna rate to his channel. Thanks everyone for joining. Yeah, that was nice to have you here, and thanks for the feedback.
The company.
I hope some of you will join the project.
And if not, yes. Thank you for watching us.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for watching, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.